Tried to work real well. That's the first time I pulled that class, and it tried to really work good.
It looked like you were hooking a little bit to the right, but you kept the power amped over it. Were you worried about going out of bounds at all?
Yeah, the charger was drifting to the right, but I never got on the brakes, just drifted on over. It didn't go away.
Boy, this is unbelievable, Army. Already tonight, 5 full pulls in this modified tractor class. We've still got one more to go. It's Wayne Cook out of Russellville coming out with this tractor Color Me Gone. That's the Allison aircraft that you showed earlier.
Okay, now, if you look at the engine right now, you can tell he's having some fueling problems. Notice the flames coming out. The jetting is not right on the engine. Wayne and his wife, Nancy, follow this national circuit with us with the twin Allison combination. Cook does not have the handle on it tonight. Not going to be there.
Finally, let's go at 172 feet for Wayne Cook and Color Me Gone out of Russellville, Kentucky. Now we're going to have a 5-tractor pull-off a little bit later on in the show. But coming up next, it's modified 2-wheel drive action on Power Tracks. And welcome back to Power Tracks. Richard Leek along with Army Armstrong, where these thousands of motorsports fans in Hampton, Virginia just treated to quite a show, Army. 5 modified tractors making full pulls. We're going to see them a little bit later on and a pull-off. But right now it is time for super modified 2-wheel drive competition.
Well, Richard, as you know, the super modified 2-wheel drive vehicles, they're chasing their national championship points right now, too. Tractors, 5 of them are coming back in a pull-off. Super modified 2-wheels coming out now, and it is a war in this class. A war right now between this man here, Ken Lamont, and 2 of the top pullers in the country that'll be following him. Lamont will pull early. That's going to be important.
All right, so here comes Ken Lamont out of Crossville, Illinois. It's called the Plano Toolbox Midnight Express. It's a Chevrolet El Camino powered by a 572 Arias engine.
You know, Richard, we gave an award away for best appearing vehicle. The Plano Toolbox Special would definitely be in contention. It is a fine piece of equipment here.
One reason for that is crew chief Tom Merck, who works on it with Kenny. Here we go, our opening shot tonight.
Wow, Lamont hits the weight, looks good. That's a good run. Lamont is going to have to be tickled on a 190 track. What does he go, Richard?
184.80. So Ken Lamont has set the distance to beat as we get ready for the Mongrel, another El Camino Chevrolet. This is Dave Laskowski. He's out of Angola, New York. He runs a 557 cubic inch Rodeck engine.
Well, Dave is an unknown commodity with us on the tour. He doesn't follow the points chase with us like everybody else does. So we're going to kind of watch this guy and see what can happen. He could really throw a wrench into this national point chase with a good run here. It looks like he's got a good one going for him. Now it goes away on him at half track.
Finally, he shuts her off at 164.67. Dave Laskowski with a disappointing pull in Hampton.
And he came off that right side, same groove that Lamont came out of, just didn't go as far.
Yeah, the first run we come off the left side, and it really pulled me to the left. I had to ride the brake, and we dropped the gear and moved some weight. I don't know, it's the best I could do.
Well, here is one of the more beautiful vehicles on the circuit, Brian McDonald, out of Harwood, Maryland. McDonald's Delivery is the name of it. He and his wife, Denise, have worked very, very hard on this beautiful 1923 Ford. And Army, I know earlier today you spent the afternoon with Brian.
Brian, how come the difference?
Well, I wanted something different besides a lot of the new trucks, and I really like the old cars, the way they're built. And the lines, they had the real subtle curves, and just like the lines.
Okay, let's start at the very front of the vehicle. Supercharged Chevrolet engine. What cubic inch is it?
It's 526 cubic inch Rodeck.
Okay, do you build your own engine?
I have a lot of help from a friend who lives in Washington, D.C., Leroy Dutney. Me and him work together a lot, and I basically put the top end together, and he works on the bottom end for me.
Okay, from the firewall forward, tremendous amount of space. The original engine set closer to the driver. Now, your engine set's way out. What's the reasoning behind that?
Well, the rules are 15 foot from the center of your rear axle to the foremost portion of the truck. And the weight really doesn't do any good in the middle of the truck, and you have to get it out there to be competitive. So I had to keep the truck competitive, but yet keep it looking good. So I made a compromise, and that's what we came up with. We lengthened the back about 3 foot, and we left about a 3 foot gap behind the motor, and just to try to equal it out and make it look halfway decent.
Boy, it looks more than halfway decent. It is beautiful. I know, Army, you have a street rod that looks a lot like this.
Yeah, but I tell you what, mine's for grins and giggles. This guy's down to some serious pulling with this vehicle. McDonald's delivery. This kid's an up-and-comer in the sport, Richard.
Oh, he just doesn't have it tonight, though, Army.
Tough break, 20 feet shy.
164.33 for Brian McDonald out of Harwood. That was a Ford, and talking about Ford, here comes the best of the bunch. It is Mike Stowe out of Warrington, Georgia. He is your defending national champion. As your leader, Ken Lamont looks on and gets ready for Mike Stowe's pull.
Lamont sits on top of this thing. He and his crew chief are on the side of the track, and Ken Lamont is sweating BBs right now because the Bad Dog 4, Stowe, is coming after him right now. Let's see what's going to happen. It's going to be one-on-one. Stowe is going after Lamont. Not there. Oh, Lamont's got to breathe a sigh of relief.
Way short for Mike Stowe, your defending champion, 164.63. Ken Lamont is the winner.
You jumped out there, and you had to sit here all night long and let these guys take a shot at you. What was going through your mind when you got guys like Stowe and McPherson and Roush coming after you?
Well, I tell you what, with the point race the way it is, Wayne sure did give me a lot of breathing room when whatever happened to his motor happened. And then when Mike didn't catch me, I thought I pretty well had it in the bag because there just wasn't enough track left out there. The track, this type of dirt wasn't packing back together real well. And that was just the draw was in my favor. You don't ever beat this pack of wolves by 20 feet, and I just lucked out tonight.
Well, get ready. Coming up next on Power Tracks, along with Go-Go, we got the modified tractor pull-off straight ahead.
You're watching ESPN, the Total Sports Network.
And welcome back to Power Tracks, TNT Motorsports in Hampton, Virginia, where we are about to start a 5-tractor pull-off. And our first driver coming out is Ron Headley out of Fairfield, Ohio. He named the tractor Betty's Headache, named it, Army, after his mother.
Richard Headley's the kind of guy that puts it on full kill, believe me. Oh, speaking of full kill, front engine kicked her right out the left side, about a $20,000 explosion right there. He's out of it.
He wasn't even halfway down the track, and the motor just went away. Could you have any indication at all, Army, it was about to go?
No, it's an internal breakage. The rod, you can look at the bottom of the engine on a replay and see pieces of aluminum starting to come out. A tough break for Headley out of Iowa.
All right, Ron Headley in a pull-off after making a full pull in regular competition. Tough luck here in the pull-off. Coming out next is Jerry Fornash out of Keota, Iowa. Name of his tractor is Lurch.
You know, speaking of tough breaks for Headley, they can still keep first place money in the family. This is his father-in-law here. We told you the story. No, Jerry and Rod, they got involved in the sport, and Rod married Jerry's daughter, so they're keeping it in the family. Maybe the family that pulls together stays together. I don't know. But right now, Lurch, the Allison aircraft horsepower, trying to go into the lead. He'll go to that number 1 spot with a 144. Not bad. Notice again the flames out the front of the engine. This sea level pulling is really causing a lot of problems for these guys.
All right, Jerry Fornash, 144.48. That will be the distance to beat in this pull-off as we get ready next for Wheeler Rittinger. Wheeler is out of Circleville, Ohio. It's called the Outcast 2, and he runs the twin Donovan engines.
Donovan engines again. Each engine drives a wheel. Wheeler doing the driving, looking good, working the left side of the track, has some ground speed. Now the weight on the sled catches him, trying to go the other side of a 144, Richard.
Oh, just short. Close. Misses it by less than a foot, 143.67. So right now, Wheeler Rittinger sitting in second place. And Bob Chickering out of Bloomfield, Iowa, in the inch pincher will try to take over the lead. Bob runs the injected Allison aircraft engine.
Bob Chickering, the gentle giant in this sport, believe me. Right now, the Allison aircraft's on top. An Allison aircraft engine going after him right now. They're good friends, but right now, one-on-one. Chickering's going after Fornash a little bit light on the nose. But the horsepower's there, trying to go the other side of a 144. Looks good.
He does it easily by some 11 feet, 155.71. Bob Chickering is our new leader in this pull-off with only one guy to go, and that little kid is probably rooting for him because it's John Carlton from right down the road, Little Plymouth, Virginia. It's called the Virginia Farmer, and he is powered by Chevrolet engines.
Normally, he runs 3 Chevrolet engines. In order to make the 5,800-pound class, he can only run 2. It's a new combination for for him. He would love to do good in front of his own hometown. Let's see what can happen. Richard, look at this run.